Hi. So I'm very curious about how this one is going to come out. I have no expectations, and that is kind of, for me, the fun of meditative coloring is allowing myself to have no expectations. But I have a lot of curiosity. I feel like I left it at sort of in the middle yesterday or last week. So I'm just curious. I'm very curious about how my vision will come out. And I've been enjoying the process of not judging it or having expectations, and not just positive. Like, I like to be supportive of myself and say, like, it looks great or you did a good job or whatever. But I'm enjoying the process of completely suspending that as well. So I'm not trying to see if it looks, excuse me, good. Or hold on, let me move this. My elbow is hitting something bonky. Yeah, it's just fun to like let all of that go and just be curious about how my idea is going to turn out. So here I go. I've been anxious to work on this. Oh, and yeah, just in case you're new, I'm Amy Chesery, and this is in Crystal Magic, Coloring Book of Shadows Crystal Magic by me. So the past few weeks, I did these 2 pages, which were lovely and gorgeous, even though I had no expectations. I still really loved them. And just to be quite honest, and I wanted to go out of my comfort zone with this one and try something new. So here we are. I'm having a good time with it. I loved doing that. I'm not done with my swirly background, so I'm going to continue that in a minute. But I wanted to do these borders in dark blue, and I thought it would sort of give me some contrast on the page that to help me finish the background, sort of give it a little bit of grounding. And I'm going with dark blue just to stay with the color scheme that I picked. I really went back and forth before I got on because these 2 pages both have a dark brown border. And it was like, stick with the same thing you did. And then I was like, nope, going for something new this time. Because you never know until you try it. So thanks for joining me. Oh yeah, comments. Let's see. Hi there. Brittany and Charlotte are here. Thanks for joining me. Yeah, I'm pretty mellow today too, so I don't know how much story time I'm going to go into. But we'll see. Other than suspending all judgment, it feels so nice. It feels so nice. Hi, Melissa. I invite everyone to consider suspending judgment on themselves for coloring and for everything. It feels so good. So good. And I think the tendency is to judge and then judge ourselves harshly. And oftentimes that leads to us thinking that we failed or telling ourselves we failed. And then it's like, why continue if I didn't do it right or whatever? So just a funny loop I've noticed. But we are witches. We can step out of that loop and keep going. I am really enjoying this dark blue right now. It's a great color. It's like a starry night. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know what I'm going to do for this little section down here to figure that out. Okay. Ooh, cool. Okay, so that's tying it together a little bit. No judgment, but I like how that sort of made the colors stand out a little bit more. Okay, onwards. So where I felt like I wasn't finished with the swirly background was mostly the edges. And I almost kept going last week, but I'm trying to keep these to 20 minutes. So I did not keep going, but I felt like as the edges I needed to just keep going and make them darker, mostly blend into the lighter center. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Hi, Stacy and Danielle. Thanks a lot. I'm glad you like the books. Oh my God, exciting news. The 2025 planner is almost done. I think I have about 3 more days of art. Well, today was supposed to be one of those days. I didn't get that much done. 2 or 3 more days of art. So like sometime next week. And I always kind of got to call it like there's always more I could do. So that's an interesting process of like saying it's done, even though like it could probably go forever with details and just, I don't know, tweaking stuff. But at some point, I have to call it done. But it's exciting. It's exciting when it becomes like almost done because it looks really good. I'm finishing up the introduction. It's animal themed, which has been super fun. And I'm finishing up the introduction with all the animals. So each month focuses on one animal. So there's 12 animals that get like a little bit more focus. But then there's lots of secondary animals too, like throughout the months. Oh, look how nice that is. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry, I was going off the page. Sorry, random diversion here. Blue and yellow is making a green on the page, which is really awesome. Just thought I'd point that out. Anyway, there's lots of secondary animals too, like within the month, like kind of similar-ish ones. Like the bat month also has a possum. because, they're nocturnal and they hang upside down. So some of them have like secondary animals going all through the months. But then the introduction is going to be a little bit wild with like more different animals that aren't the main focus animals of the book. And then, as in most of my books, there's space to add your own animals, symbolism, and what animals you see and connect with throughout the year. I think with all things, but animals in particular, they're speaking to you. Yes, you. So while there may be books of symbolism, and you can ask other people what they think the animal means, I really think it's speaking to you. And it's a message for you to decipher and for you to think about in context of your life. Blue and orange do not blend very well, but that's okay. Yeah, so there's room for you to add your own symbolism and meaning, and in the introduction especially, and just like kind of reminding you as you go through the book. And everybody lives in different, well, not everybody lives in different places, because some of you guys probably live in the same towns, but you know what I'm saying. My books go to a audience worldwide. So I definitely live in a place where we don't have the same animals as the mainland, because I live in Hawaii. So we have very different animals. And, if someone lives in England or they live in even the United States, there's very different regional animals. So we're all going to see different stuff. Hi, Shelly. Yes, I sell these. If you look up my name, well, you can just go to coloringbookofshadows.com. That's my website. And my shop is there. Shop is at the top, and then also on Amazon. You can find my books, and it's by me, Amy Chesery. But yeah, my website, Coloring Book of Shadows. Sorry, I'm bonking my camera now. Coloringbookofshadows.com will get you all the information. You'll find links and things. This book is Crystal Magic. Thanks for asking. But yeah, so we're all going to see different animals, and they're going to appear to us for different reasons. So while they do have certain symbolisms that are kind of general, I really invite you to do your own research and find your own meaning. Like, what does an animal, if it's speaking to you at a certain time of your life, your intuition and your questions about, that you just have in life, like your place in life and what you've been asking the world and or the universe or your goddess or whatever. Your question is going to be different, and the animals, nature spirits, however you see it, are going to be responding to you specifically. So while I definitely look in books. I love books, but personal interpretation, that's all I'm saying, is important. So hopefully the book will lead you in that direction. Okay, this section looks awesome. No, I am stoked. Well, a little more blue here. I know I keep saying I didn't have expectations, and then I'm like, oh yes. That's sort of what I was going for. I think it's that funny line of not judging yourself for it. Like if you don't hit allowing the art to have its own, life. and not trying to control it too much. So I do live in Hawaii, yeah. I live on Maui. I've been here for 4 years. And it's a very different ecosystem. I used to live in California for more of my life, and it's a very different ecosystem. Very sensitive ecosystem, and very, very different. Like, I love the local species here, which are mostly birds, fish, and insects. But I do miss some of my old friends, like squirrels. We don't have no squirrels in Hawaii. It's very different. So animal symbolism takes on, you know, where you live, animal symbolism takes on very different flavor. And that's part of the fun of it, I think, is like what you see and like getting some local knowledge and looking into the history, natural history and cultural history. Okay. Cool. Oh, keep going. I like want to stop on this section, but you know, these rainbow swirly backgrounds kind of take a lot of time. So just give myself the time to work on it. But this is awesome. This is fun. And I sort of haven't been thinking. I've been kind of chit-chatting now. I said I wasn't going to chit-chat, and then I started chit-chatting. Because, you know, animals. But this has sort of just been flowing, which is lovely. Okay. Don't want to, I'm going to keep going. Okay. Stop yourself. Oh yeah, not judging yourself. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed your name on who said gotta work on not judging yourself. Dude, totally. And it's now, I think it's like natural to judge yourself, so don't feel bad if you do it, but just like, it's great to just notice. You know? Or start noticing like, oh, like, I don't know. And something low stakes like coloring, it's an experiment. Like, you learn something every time. Or I do. I think you probably do too. I'm guessing you learn something every time. But yeah, I said last week I really I wanted to do this swirly background, and then I was like, oh no, what if it doesn't turn out right on live video? Like, stick with what you know. And then I was like, no, do what you're curious about. Like, go out of your comfort zone a little bit. And I'm glad I did, because this is fun. And then I was curious all week, because yeah, my initial response to myself last week was, oh no, this is not turning out very well. I just went into my Muppet persona. In case you didn't know, I'm a really big Muppet fan. But anyway, I was like, oh no, this is not turning out. And then I was like, dude, sorry. My voice is, yeah, my personality, my weird personalities. But then that's how they are in my mind. It's like, no, dude, just keep going. Like, you're experimenting. This is awesome. Like, you wanted to push yourself and step out of your comfort zone. So like, give yourself the grace and like really step out of your comfort zone. Like, just be curious. And then I was very curious all week. I almost worked on it just on my own. And then I was like, nope, save it for the coloring session. But I was very curious on how it would turn out. I'm still curious, especially now. So these colors blending together is really giving me a lot of joy right now. As I mentioned, wait, hold on. As I mentioned, the blue and orange sort of made brown, which I could have guessed, but the way some of these other pencils are blending together is just a treat. Too much orange. Like the orange and pink is really fun to blend together, and the blue and orange, the blue and yellow makes green, obviously. Like, I don't know. Like, I knew those things, but just watching it in front of me is pretty fun. And maybe I don't blend the colors that often. I don't know. It's sort of a happy accident, to be quite honest. But when you're doing these swirly kind of backgrounds, the blending sort of becomes inevitable after some time. Okay, so that's looking nice. Oh, wow, we've been 20 minutes already. Well, I'll just go a little bit more to finish so I get to a place where I can call this background done. And then next week, I'll do the items, the crystals and stuff. Oh, I'm sorry. I have a question. Somebody's asking a question. Oh, the background, the blending is so nice. Oh, what? Danielle, these are just Crayola pencils. Just regular old Crayolas. And I do have like a bunch of different really fancy artist grade expensive pencils, which are probably like maybe a little, they are a little, you notice they're a little bit better, but the reason I don't use them is because I don't want people to think that it's the pencil that makes my coloring look good and then feel discouraged if they don't have the budget for like artist quality pencils or professional quality pencils. Professional quality pencils, not artist, because an artist can use whatever. But yeah, so professional quality pencils are a lot more expensive and they can be really nice. And if you have the money for them, go for it. But if you don't, Crayola or some of the other brands that are less expensive are just as awesome. Or you can have just as much fun with them. Let's put it that way. So these are just regular old Crayolas. And I do have I have like the 100 color or 120 color set, which I recommend. Like, I do recommend getting a bunch of different colors. Like, get as many colors as you can get, so you can afford. But I think 120 Crayolas is like 20 bucks or something. Well worth it. Well worth it. Anyway, yeah, the color blending, like purple with some pink over it. I could just eat that up. I could do that all day. That's like a real treat for my eye right now. Okay, cool. Ta-da! So I think that really took it up a notch today. Oh gosh, I always see more that I want to do. Just this little corner and then I'll turn off for the day. But yeah, that really took it up a notch. It satisfied my curiosity of how this would turn out. Just blend this in a little bit. But I hope you guys had a fun time. I'm going to post this in the Facebook group. And if you want to post what you colored, please do. I always love to see. And I know it's always inspiring to see everybody's stuff. Okay. This is the point where I always say I'm going to stop and then I keep going, but it's okay. Cool. Okay. Yes. Looking great. Now I am very, very curious to see what happens when I color all the crystals and items next week. So I hope you'll join me. Thank you for showing up today. Happy accidents are very fun. That's right, Patty. They're the best.